and the weather has certainly begun to change already. We're well and truly into autumn now. There's not that much really left to do on the plot at this time of year, so I'm not too sure how this episode is going to go, but stick with it and let's see what we can get up to today. I really need your help to know when I should be harvesting my potatoes. So as you know, they've already flowered and they're now beginning to thin out a little bit. And as you can see, they're just beginning to appear through the soil. So I'm thinking this is probably about the time. But let me know if it's a good time to harvest them now or whether I should be waiting a little bit longer. Some people seem to be saving them for Christmas, but I don't think mine are going to last that long. So if you look just through here, you can see there's a potato just beginning to show through the ground. So I think I probably need to cover that a little bit more, otherwise it's going to go yellow. But there's some more in here. There's another one there beginning to poke through. And I think there's a couple somewhere around here that I saw as well. There's one more down there. So that has to be a good sign that these potatoes are almost ready to harvest, or at least that's what I think. But please let me know whether I should be digging them up now or whether I need to leave them a little bit longer. These tomatoes unfortunately haven't done much and they're dying back now. As you can see, they're still really very green and they're certainly not going to turn red now. So for today, I'm going to pull these out the ground and these can go into the compost. Hopefully provide some nutrients for next year's tomatoes. It's a shame because some of them had a lot of tomatoes on there. They just didn't ever ripen. The tomato plants that were growing in the front bed here, again, unfortunately didn't ripen. These weren't even planted in here, so not really sure where they came from. But I'm also going to get rid of all of these as well. I can get them out of the ground. These ones are really in there deep. There we go. Again, you can see just how many tomatoes were on there. But unfortunately, they just didn't ripen. Get that one as well. And there's one more just over the back there. Let's grab that. After clearing those tomatoes, you get a much clearer look at the Swiss chard and all the colours. I have another question for all of you out there, and it's to do with my spring onions. I want to know if I should be concerned about this kind of rust colouring that has appeared on the ends of the sprouts. I don't know if that's some kind of disease or not, but let me know if you've had that in the past. Some of these have gone really rusty down here. Maybe it's just they've been in the ground too long. That one's got, you can almost feel like a gloopy substance on there. So let me know if you know what that is and how I should treat it. Whether I should just pull these up. Actually, I think probably best just to pull these up now because they've been in the ground a long time. Certainly these ones that I trod on can come out of the ground. They've got quite big, bigger than any spring onions you'd find in the supermarket. Sowing and growing really doesn't have to end at this time of year, so yesterday I went to the garden centre in search of some spring bulbs, but unfortunately I couldn't find any, so instead I picked up some seeds. And although these say to plant in March, April, May, you can still make a start with these in the autumn and then they'll be ready in spring to plant out much earlier. So I've got this deep purple cauliflower, which looks really interesting. And then also I thought that you could only grow onions from onion sets, but it seems you can also grow them, well, obviously with the exception of spring onions. I didn't realise these bulb onions can also be grown from seed. So I'm going to give these a try as well. So place some seed starting compost mix into the pot, and then let's open up these and give them a try. But if anyone else is growing anything at this time of year, then please let me know. I'd love to know what I can do to get a head start for spring next year. These were quite expensive seeds and you don't get many in a packet. Just going to have to be very careful. I'm just going to place 4 in there. And then let's see how they go, if they germinate or not. We'll save those other ones for the springtime. And same with the onion seeds. I've got a few more of these, so I'm just going to put a very light layer of seeds into that pot. Again, just with a seed starting mix of compost. And maybe for these, just cover them up very lightly with some soil. Want to add them into this little incubator tray that I've used for my Chinese cabbage. Seems to be a few weeds growing in here as well. Just pick those out. If I move those over, I should be able to squeeze these 2 in here, although I do need to remember to label them, and I haven't brought any labels with me, so maybe let's put a stick in that one to remind me. That one is the cauliflower, and then let's put a stone in the other one. That one is the onions. I'll have to watch this back, or you'll have to remind me, because I will have forgotten in the next 10 minutes. Place that lid on there, and let's see what we end up with in the spring. I've been a bit lazy and I haven't done any more work on the raised bed that was going to go down here. Kind of lost the motivation a little bit to put any more raised beds in, but it is something ideally I need to do. The ground is much softer at this time of year, so it's probably a better time to do it. As you can see, there's a lot of grass beginning to grow back through that area as well, but that is something that I definitely need to get done before winter truly sets in. One more thing that may help you make a decision on whether or not I should be harvesting these potatoes is that I've just noticed this little one down here has a fruit on it, and I think I read somewhere that once they get the fruit on them, again, they're potentially ready to harvest, but I'll leave it to the experts out there to let me know. I'm still fighting the rhubarb weed battle every week. So far, I just about seem to be keeping it under control. I won't continue to go on about the pumpkins, but that one is definitely beginning to flower. It's got a lot of flowers on there. This one, again, has a few, but as I've said before, there's no way these are going to make it in time, so I think next week it'll be digging them up time. All that's left for me now to do is harvest a bit more Swiss chard. I've been living off this Swiss chard for the last few weeks, and I think it'll probably be time to head back home for another week. A top tip I was given is that make sure you harvest your Swiss chard or your greens just before you're going home, because then it stays fresher. Before I was harvesting it right at the start and it was all wilting by the time I got home, but hopefully now this will stay nice and fresh until I can get it in the fridge back at home. Got distracted by the fox running away over there, but that's it from me today. Thanks again for watching this episode, and look forward to catching you next week. Take care.